Welcome, class, to a workshop on Coach Joe rules. In this lesson, we will review Coach Joe rule number 21, which states, avoid type or scope definitions in variable names. The use of is, has, can, and should are examples of a Boolean prefix. These prefixes are encouraged. Some variables might contain a prefix used to help identify the type or scope. Avoid these prefixes. The Hungarian notation naming convention begins with a mnemonic prefix, typically lowercase letters that indicate the type, scope, or object intention followed by the variable name. There are two types of Hungarian notation, systems and apps. Systems Hungarian prefixes variables with their type. Here are some common prefixes. Apps Hungarian prefixes variables with information about its intention. Here are some common prefixes. Hungarian notation was very popular in the 1980s when using dynamically typed languages. It was a reasonable way to announce to other developers the data type being used or object intention, which helped prevent some common errors. As statically typed languages like C++ and Java were introduced, the practice of prefixing variables continued. Here are a few common dynamically typed languages. They perform data type checking at runtime. Declaring the data type of the variable is not required. The code can be written a little quicker, but can be more time-consuming to find and fix type errors. Here are a few common statically typed languages. They declare variables with the data type to assist with type checking at compile time. It takes a little longer to write, but will catch bugs at an earlier stage. Over time, the IDEs got smarter and coding standards improved. They now perform compile time checks as you enter the code. Notice the warning indicator. If you hover over the error, the data type warning will be exposed. The evolution of the 5 solid principles, code smells, and coding rules has greatly improved the coding standards, which has reduced the need for the Hungarian notation prefixes. And finally, stop putting a capital I in front of an interface name. Yes, it was the standard in the past. Yes, it's still commonly used in many libraries today. Unfortunately, there are many supporting articles highlighting the flaws. Times change, technologies evolve, and developers will adapt too. For some of you, it might be time to say goodbye to the I. I apologize if I touched a nerve with some of you, but hold on a minute. The use of Hungarian prefixes are still allowed. Here are some advantages. It should be used with older languages where Hungarian notation is the declared project standard. It can be helpful when working with dynamically typed languages. Apps Hungarian notation is more useful when defining semantic types like form objects. Here are some disadvantages. With the evolution of the modern IDE and statically typed languages, the need for Hungarian notation prefixes has been greatly reduced. A data type change means the variable name should also change. And prefixes would not be needed with better variable names. Regardless of the opinion stated, you and your team should follow agreed-upon standards established by the project or company. I challenge you to avoid using short prefixes to help identify the data type, scope, or object intention. Leave a comment down below if your team or company still use prefixes, including I for interfaces. Look for other helpful Coach Joe videos. Remember, future senior developers, make it work, prove it works, then make it better. Ready, break!